New Tool Day Tuesday, where I share with you guys unique or useful tools that I myself use that I think you might be interested in. Today we're going to be talking about a relatively new product for Harbor Freight. It's the new Titanium Unlimited 140 multiprocessor. Multiprocessors are awesome to have because they do 4 functions in one. This one will do MIG, flux-core, DC TIG, and DC stick. And if you do not have access to 240 volts, it's no big deal because this particular unit runs on 120 volts. You can plug it into a regular outlet. Taking a look inside the box, you're going to find everything you need to start welding right away. Included is a ground clamp and an electrode holder, the TIG torch, the MIG gun, a regulator, some consumables and some accessories, the manual, and a quick start guide. The unit itself is relatively small in size and it only weighs about 25 pounds, which makes it very convenient for portable use. Looking at the back side, you can see where the gas input is, and it has an on-off switch right here above the power line. Taking a quick glance at the front of the machine, you can see everything is visible at a quick glance. Operation is extremely simple. This is the mode switch. It allows you to configure the machine to whether you're operating in stick mode, or TIG mode, or MIG mode. This switch here allows you to configure the trigger on the gun. It allows you to set this machine up into 2-touch mode or a 4-touch mode. Under the hood looks like any other MIG machine, and albeit small, the machine can accept a 10-pound spool. But the question in everybody's mind is, how good does it weld? And I'll tell you, I've already been playing with it and I'm quite pleased with it. We're not going to be putting any metal together, but we are going to lay a bead down just so you can see how well it does. We're going to start out by MIGging, and I am feeding it 2575 argon gas. Let's go ahead and strike weld. This is 1/8 inch metal, and I have the amp set to 260 and the volts set to 18. And I probably could have turned the heat up just a little bit, but it is doing okay. It's doing just fine. And for kicks and giggles, let's run some flux-core through it and see how well it does. And it does just fine. In fact, it probably welds better than any other flux-core machine that I've ever used. Now I'm really excited to see how well it will stick weld. Being an inverter welder, that means we can weld relatively easy on 120 volts. Let's go ahead and strike up an arc and see how well it does. And as you can see, there is no problem with it burning a rod. And this particular rod is a 6011 5/32. I don't have any TIG rods on hand to show you how this thing TIGs, but it is a scratch start DC TIG. Keep that in mind. But as far as an overall general welder, I think this thing is freaking awesome. It's small and it's portable, and it runs on 120 volts, which may be very convenient for somebody that does not have a 240 outlet in their garage. It does MIG really well, and it actually does flux core decently. Flux core is very difficult to weld with, and this one it isn't so bad. And being a multi-processor, it obviously does stick welding and TIGging as well. Also, take a look at the quick start guide. It shows you how to connect those cables depending on how you're going to use this welder. And I will also say the manual itself is also full of tips and techniques. At the time of this video, this welder comes in under $600, and for a multi-processor, that is absolutely outstanding. I could see this welder even being great on a work truck. You could plug it into a generator and that generator would have no problem supporting it. The quality of Harbor Freight's titanium welders in the past have been outstanding, and there's no doubt that this one will last the test of time. So there you have my quick and dirty review of the Titanium Unlimited 140 by Harbor Freight. If you like these types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take a look at some of my other videos, and at the very least, you might be entertained.